truly don't think I can describe and relate to you how excited I am for this weekend, how happy I am about it, how at peace I feel. I snuck away to the coast this weekend, the Oregon coast. I'm in Coos Bay. I'm staying in this cute little cottage. Specifically booked it because it looked like a cozy grandma cottage, which is exactly the vibes I want. I'm gonna be crocheting and reading and hiking a bit too, but I'm going to be living my solo grandma life, and so I wanted to be in like a cozy, kitschy, cute little place. I really struck gold with this one. It's like a guest house, you know, of somebody else's house. So it's a separate building, but like, anyways, by their house. And when I pulled up, I realized I would be parking like directly in front of their house, which at first I was like, ugh, because I'm a little like shy and I don't know. I wasn't prepared to speak with other humans. I was kind of just planning on being alone. But I pulled up to their house and this older couple immediately comes out. I swear it's like a cliche. They're like arms are around each other. They're waving at me. They like come and say hi and introduce themselves and chat with me and ask me what I'm up to this weekend. And they were very nice. But anyways, the whole house is so cute. It's teeny tiny. Like I said, very much grandma decor vibes in the best way. I feel like every time I turn around, I see something new and cute, some sort of cottage decor. There's also like animals and lace, and the quilt on the bed is like my dream. Love a blue and white quilt. I will need to take pictures of that for inspo for the future. There's a garden outside, which right now, I mean, it's March on the coast, so super overcast, rainy. Definitely not gonna get any sunshine this weekend, which is totally fine, but it will be the perfect rainy weekend location. I'm actually going to jump into some crochet stuff right now. I bought a pattern for crocheting covers for my AirPods, over-the-ear AirPods. They definitely have a very high-tech look to them, and I love them to look more like grandma headphones. So I'm gonna crochet covers for those. And then after I crochet a bit, I'm gonna head into town. I'm staying across the bay. All of the shops and restaurants and things like that are on the other side. So I'm gonna drive into town and get dinner and stock up on a few snack things, both for hikes and for treats and whatnot, as I'm having my crochet readathon cozy weekend. Also, I discovered this morning my new favorite lazy cute hairstyle. Let me see if I can show you. It's like a half up fishtail situation. I hope it's coming off as cute as I think it looked in the mirror this morning. But it's kept the hair on my face all day, and I've talked to 2 other humans today, I guess, aside from the couple here, but I've talked to 2 other humans today, and both of them complimented my hair. So I feel like I'm gonna have to do this more often. Okay, let's do some crochet. Okay, I've made this much of the granny square. There's supposed to be one more row of white before it starts like curving back to fit around the AirPod, and I've sort of been holding it up to check the sizing a little bit. It does give you a measurement for the square once you finish like the next row of white, and at that point it's supposed to be 3¼ inches, and this already is like 3½ inches. So I know that my hook size is not working well, which seems to be a theme with me. Maybe my tension isn't very tight, but I often find myself needing to size my hook down. So it called for a 6mm hook. I was using a 5.5 because I was trying to avoid this situation. I will link the pattern that I'm using in the description. I felt like I could have potentially tried to wing this on my own, even though I'm still fairly a crochet beginner, but I felt like I better just have instructions from somebody else who knows what they're doing. I also found a free video tutorial that I can link as well. That one is slightly different. This one is more like alternating color granny square type vibes. The other one has like cherries and strawberries on it. Anyways, I'll link both the free video that I found and this paid pattern that I found. I personally don't mind paying for patterns. Maybe it's because I'm a pattern designer in the sewing world. I very much am on board with paying people for their work and their creativity, and I would prefer written instructions over like a video instructions. It's maybe also weird considering I make a lot of video tutorials, but I'll link those resources in the description. I'm off to make another swatch or granny square and check the size. Maybe I just need to learn to crochet a bit tighter. I finished my next swatch. This one I did with a 4mm hook, and it's much smaller, much better. I did all the rows I was supposed to do, and again, it's supposed to be 3¼ inch, and it's 4 inches or almost 4 inches. So it's still too big, and in the pattern, she's like, can be a bit smaller, but not any bigger. So I'm gonna have to size down again. I'll probably do like a 3mm hook, but I'm glad I stuck to one color and just busted this out in like 10 minutes. Okay, I am going to go grab dinner and run to the store like I mentioned, and then I'm gonna come back and get cozy and crochet all night long. / read. I'll also probably read too. There is absolutely nothing better than a cheeseburger and onion rings at a little diner in a small town. It's always the places that you would like never guess from the outside would be great, that always are. Also, I literally was just telling you about my hairstyle that everyone's complimenting, and the girl at the burger place told me my hair was cute. She's like, I have to learn how to do that, which was so sweet. And girls in general are just the best. I feel like I always get the sweetest compliments from like strangers, specifically like other girls, which is so sweet. And I try to do the same. I feel like I could be better at it. In fact, I ran into one of you guys at the zoo in Portland the other week when I was there. So hi to Maddie at the Portland Zoo. I actually need to poll you guys. It's like 8:30. And when I'm left to my own devices, like when I travel by myself or when I'm away from home or when my family's away from home or whatever, I tend to eat dinner pretty late. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock is like my preferred dinner time. And my husband is like an early dinner person. He loves a 5 o'clock dinner. Sometimes he'll even want to eat earlier than that. So we compromise usually. We usually eat around 6-ish. But I'm curious what you guys think, because I think eating at like 4:30 or even 5 is like so early. I never want to eat that early. And understandably, he feels like 8 o'clock is pretty late to eat dinner. So you guys have to comment and tell me, what is your preferred dinner time if you were completely independent to make your own choices? We have 2 sides of the AirPod covers, and they're the perfect size. I measured them, so I ended up using a 3.25mm hook. Now it's time to do the parts that like curve over the thing, and there's like a button that you add, and I think it's gonna get trickier from here. I'm hoping to finish them tonight and then potentially make more of them, because I do like this color combo, but I already want to make a red and pink pair, and I'll probably just end up making a bunch so that I can constantly swap out my crochet headphone covers to match my outfit for any given occasion. Headphones are done. They're cute. I stayed up way too late making them, which is also what happens when I'm on my own. I don't sleep. I just have too much fun making things. I'm probably gonna go read for at least an hour or 2, but I can't stay up too late because I'm hiking tomorrow. I definitely think I'm gonna make a red and pink or maybe red and white pair. Let me know what color combos I need to do. I'm headed out for the day. I am gonna go on a hike. First, I'm gonna get brunch though. I love having an omelet at any time, but especially before a hike. So I'm gonna go get brunch, and then I'm a bit nervous. Obviously, it's the Oregon coast. It's windy, it's rainy. That's my favorite hiking weather, but it really is intense today. And I feel like I am pretty resilient with, I don't know, inclement weather type things. But I was just looking. It is supposed to rain basically all day, more so in the evening though. And there's a severe weather high wind warning at 5 p.m., which I originally was planning to hike in the afternoon, but it's gonna be rainier, windier, and so it felt like a smarter idea to go in the morning. I'm gonna do a quick hiking fit check because you guys always ask where I get my hiking stuff from. This shirt is from Free People. They have their athletic brand that I like some of their stuff from. So that's where this top is from. And then these pants are REI brand actually, and they're fairly new. I don't know how I feel about them yet. They like unzip into shorts. I am still planning on making a hiking pants pattern. I just have not had time yet, and I have a very clear idea of what they're going to be like, and I think they're going to be the best thing ever. My hat is North Face. It's like a waterproof situation, and then my jacket is Mountain Hardwear, which is also fairly new. It's like my waterproof rain jacket because I used to have a waterproof rain jacket that I loved that was Nike brand. It was like a really, really lightweight shell situation, but I let my 10-year-old borrow it for a field trip she had to go on because she couldn't find her waterproof jacket, and I lent her mine and was like, don't lose it, haha, and she lost it. So anyways, I just barely got this new one and I love it, and it's very cute. Oh, and my bag is North Face also. I haven't been able to find the specific one. My sister gave it to me for my birthday last year, maybe the year before. I actually need to get a bigger one. I have one that's slightly bigger, but I feel like I need one that's like bigger because this is just a tiny little guy. It barely fits all my stuff. All right, let's head out. Wish me luck that I don't get blown away in a rainstorm.
Stopped raining as soon as I got out of the car, which is very fortuitous. So we'll see how long my good luck lasts. It's freaking gorgeous here today. Definitely taking a turn for the worst. Oh, here it goes. I am absolutely soaking wet. The last like hour was pretty brutal, but overall I still had a good time.
I'm back, I'm dry, I'm cozy. I had planned to go into town today to do like thrifting, vintage shopping. There's like always the cutest shops on the coast. So that was the plan, but I decided to push it off till tomorrow because I'm still cold. Like I think just being wet for multiple hours and cold, I'm like shivering and it's getting kind of late and I just don't want to be out in a severe wind warning. I'm just gonna stay in and crochet for the rest of the night. And then tomorrow I will hit up all the shops that I want to visit. So I decided I'm going to make another set of the AirPod covers, and I'm doing pink and red, which is maybe super basic because that's the example one in the pattern, but I, like so many of you, can't get enough of this combo lately. So I started it off. I'm gonna try to do it as quickly as I can. I think I have it memorized. I think I can remember all the steps. So I'm gonna see how quickly I can do it. Let's see, it is 5:23 at the moment. I'm gonna see if I can finish these in like 2 hours, so 7:30. But I also wanted to chat a little bit, which is ironic, you'll see in a minute, because I just saw this comment on my last vlog where I made the shower curtain. I always read all your comments, just so you guys know. I don't respond to all of them. It's difficult to respond to every comment on every platform. I see all the comments. I appreciate them because 99.999% of them are positive and kind, and I just love you guys so much. But I got this one comment literally like, well, I think a few hours ago, but I just saw it. Let me actually read it to you. It said, "God, this chick babbles a lot." My initial thought and reaction when I saw that was like, oh my gosh, they're right, I do babble a lot, which I know I talk a lot, I know I yap, I'm well aware of it. If we're gonna blame someone, let's blame my dad. He is a chatter, not in a negative way, just he talks a lot and I talk a lot, and I know that. I really do know that. If you guys even knew how much I edited out of these videos, I talk way more than I leave in, so I get it. But at the same time, I'm not actually going to let that affect the content I make or how I edit things, because one thing that I really love about my job and all the stuff I make, the videos I make, whatever, is that I am not putting on any airs. I don't try to be fancier or cooler or more mysterious or whatever than I am. I'm not like a high-end fashion influencer. I know this, you know this if you are watching this. I sew things, I yap a lot, and I'm okay with that. And genuinely, if you are not interested in my chatter, like if this conversation is annoying you, right? Conversation, we're chatting, right? If me talking right now is bothering you, that's fair. Like, that's totally fine. If you don't want to watch people chatting, you absolutely don't have to. I will not begrudge you your personal tastes. However, you are free to go elsewhere. In fact, I got this other comment once that was like, I wanted to subscribe to you, I was about to subscribe to you, but then I saw you doing your makeup, and she said, I'm not interested in personal care, which again, that's totally fair. It's a bit funnier to me because it was like a 2-second clip of me putting on my sunscreen for the day, but that was over the line. So again, that's fine. If you don't want to watch that, totally fair, but I'm just gonna do what I want to do. And if you are somebody who makes content, because I've been doing this for a long time, not specifically YouTube, but I've been working professionally in social media for over 10 years, and that's for sure a lesson that I have learned. It just makes your life so much easier and often makes you more successful if you just make the content you want to make and don't worry so much about what will perform well. I mean, obviously take insights from how your content's doing, and anyways, I'm getting on a tangent here, chatting too much. Bottom line is, that's fine if I yap too much. I'm aware of it, and like I said, I do edit a lot of it out. I will probably continue to do so because even when I'm editing, I'm thinking to myself, shut up, stop talking. So I'll edit it down a bit until I feel like it's not too much. And if it's still too much for you, you don't have to be here. And if you are here, I love you and I appreciate you. And for the people who comment like, it feels like hanging out with a best friend, we're both doing our crafting, whatever, I genuinely feel the same way. Like, I'm on this trip right now, I'm crafting, I'm crocheting, I'm making stuff. When I do my sewing vlogs, I feel like I am sewing with another person. I feel like I'm creating with another person, and it feels to me like a group activity. So I'm glad so many of you feel that way, because I do hear that a lot and I genuinely appreciate it. All right, let's finish these AirPod covers. Lizzie just saw Pemberley, so we're really in for a great rest of our evening here. You guys, I'm so dumb. Remember when I was like, oh, I've memorized it. I'm gonna see how fast I can finish it because I don't have to look at the instructions anymore. Yeah, I fully missed a row here. Luckily, it's like sort of near the end, so I'll just have to kind of unravel the last few rows and go back and do it again. I was trying to put them on and they were not fitting, and I was like, I don't understand, I did everything the same. Girl, no you didn't. I really, as someone who writes patterns, I feel like I should know better. Okay, I'll probably redo these maybe later tonight, maybe not, we'll see. For now, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from this crochet project. I'm gonna work on my other one. I think it's one that I mentioned in a past vlog. This large, lovely creation is, let's see, let's give you a better view. It is going to be a sweater. I'm working on it. It has a head hole here, and then there will be sleeves attached to it. It's almost long enough, like the body of it is pretty close. In fact, I might go try it on in a minute and see how it's coming. When I talked about this one previously, and I can't remember exactly what video it was in, it was like at the very end of one, I had mentioned that, again, I had to size my hook down a lot to get my gauge swatch to be correct. And somebody commented in a very nice way. I fully appreciate kind, constructive comments when they treat me like a human, you know? Anyway, somebody commented and gave the advice that I probably was using the wrong type of yarn if I had to size my hook down that much, and that they had mentioned that in just like the little bit that I had made and shown so far, it looked like the sweater was going to be quite stiff because of the smaller hook size and the yarn I was using. I did see that comment when I had only done like a couple rows of this, and so at that point I would have been able to scrap it and kind of start over if I wanted to. I think there's merit in what they were saying. I am not using the same exact yarn that was in the pattern. It is still a cotton yarn, which is like the same fiber, but I think the yarn I'm supposed to be using is a bit softer and this yarn is a bit stiffer. However, I decided to keep going because I'm not super worried if it comes off a bit stiff. If it's like an actual cardboard box stiffness, that would be bad, but I don't feel like it is. I feel like it's squishy-ish, and I'm gonna give it a little bath when I do the blocking. I bought some gentle soap stuff for yarn that also says it like conditions and softens it a bit, so I'm not expecting that to do a ton, but I do feel like once I block it, it'll be even squishier and softer than it is now, and I feel like it's pretty good. The other reason that I kept going is because part of the reason I'm making this sweater in particular is because I have all of these bits of yarn that I bought when I was first learning to crochet. They're all cotton yarns, and I'm trying to get rid of all the little bits and pieces before I buy more yarn for more projects, and I really liked the scrap version of this sweater, so I feel like it's helping me get rid of my yarn. It's been a fun project. I'm going to maybe go try this on and then tackle a few rows of this one because I would love to finish it before it gets too warm seasonally to wear sweaters. Okay, actually, I just tried it on. I'm going to show you. I feel like it's giving potato sack a little bit right now because it's fairly shapeless without the sleeves, so ignore that, but otherwise I'm excited about it. Okay, this is what we have of the sweater so far. I feel like these things are really driving me crazy because they stick up right now because it's a square, but they will flatten down when I have sleeves on and when it's blocked and all of that. But I actually am really loving it. I feel like looking at it in the camera, it looks like I'm wearing a colorful potato sack, but I feel like it's gonna be really cute and fun. So I wanted it to be sort of cropped. I just didn't want it to be really long because it is kind of heavy because of how like dense it is. So I'll probably only do 3 or 4 more rows. I feel like I could finish that tonight. Should I finish this bodice part tonight and maybe even get started on sleeves? I don't know, but I think it's looking good so far. I'm about to head out for the day, but I have to show you the red covers that I finished last night. I'm obsessed with them. I'm so glad I made this color. I actually did change the pattern a little bit for this one as like an experiment type thing. So let me show you the blue ones. In fact, I'm gonna swap one of these out so I can show you better. Okay, so the blue ones, as you can see, come up over the cushy part of the AirPod. I felt like that was sort of weird when I was doing it, but I don't know, it's like not that big of a deal. So when I did this one, I made it shorter and I like changed it a little bit so it doesn't come on the entire thing. I don't know which I prefer. I feel like I like the red color better. And yeah, I don't know, something about this one coming all the way in feels like it's this huge earmuff, and this one feels a little bit more like low profile. Anyway, but highly recommend the pattern. It is a very good pattern. Okay, we are headed out. I'm gonna go get brunch again. Duh. And then I'm going to try to go to as many like thrift and vintage stores as I can all the way up the coast to the next hike I'm doing. When I was looking at my maps today, I realized half, if not more, than the places I was planning to go to are closed on Sundays. That's not something I thought about, but it's fine. We'll go to as many as I can. Hopefully I can pick up some cute like home stuff. That's mainly what I try to thrift, is like home things. Maybe some clothes. I'll do a haul once I get everything. And then hiking fit check. This shirt is another one from Free People. I feel like it's hard to see because it's black, but it has like this ruching thing here, and it's like a really nice thin material, which I really love a thin top when I'm hiking. And then these pants are from Target a few years ago. There, can you see them better? They're just like jogger type pants. Like I mentioned yesterday, I'm working on a hiking pants pattern because I don't have any hiking pants, nor have I ever found hiking pants that I love everything about them. There's always like a handful of things that drive me crazy. So anyways, I gotta get out of here because we're running up to checkout time. But I'm excited for my last day of the coast, and I'll be headed home tonight back to normal life.
I have to give you a thrift haul, and I apologize because it's raining super hard, but this is a thrift emergency. I scored at these thrift stores. Normally, I don't have a lot of luck, but today I was blessed. We're starting off strong with this America's Quilts and Coverlets book. It's like a coffee table book. It's super duper cute, and it's just filled with all of these different gorgeous quilt designs and like the history of them and where they're from and why they're important. It's just so freaking cool. Oh, I'm gonna learn so much. So there's that book. In fact, when was this published? I didn't even look. Look at the title page. I feel like every page in this book could be free. 1974, a great year for textiles. Then we have, okay, I got this set of 4 glass plates. So these are like really, really pretty red scalloped edge plates. I personally feel like these could be made today. Like the color is very trendy, the scallops are very trendy, the vibes are immaculate, and I think if these were new, they would be very expensive. I got a set of 4 of them for like 10 bucks, and they were 20% off, so even less than that. Then I got these other 2 plates. They're both heart-shaped. This one has these little like cutouts in them, and it's just so clearly handmade because all of the hearts are like kind of imperfect and some of them are a bit like misformed or whatever. But for these ones, this one especially, haven't decided about this one. I would love to fill the big wall in my sewing studio with different kinds of like artwork that I've collected. Some of it is going to be like textile art, some of it will be painting, drawing type things. Some of them I want to be ceramics. I'm on the hunt for all kinds of stuff. So I feel like I'm gonna put these on my wall. I've also been trying to kind of like junk journal. and collect random little tidbits on my travels for that wall as well. They had a bunch of fat quarters or just like offcuts of vintage fabrics. I don't think these are all fat quarters. I love all of these like prints and patterns. This one especially I love, and from the looks of it, it looks much bigger than at least these two. This one's quite big too, but these ones might be fat quarters. This one I'm sure is more than a fat quarter, but this whole bundle I think was like $3 or $4, so quite a good deal there. And then I got this tablecloth, which I was like not 100% sure what I want to make with it. It's kind of hard to see in the car, but I'm really loving white and red lately, and I feel like this could make a really cool dress or matching shorts and shirts set for like summer, and it was extremely cheap as well. And it's a lot of fabric too. If you haven't thrifted for fabric before, even if it's things that you know you're only going to use for like toiling or samples or whatever, I always love using secondhand fabric for things like that. Okay, then they had a whole like carousel display of vintage buttons that are just kind of like random hodgepodge buttons. These green ones with gold on them specifically I am obsessed with, and they're on like their original packaging. I'm very curious when those were made. 4 of those cute buttons for 10 cents originally. Try to guess what year that might have been. And then potentially my favorite find is this gorgeous quilt. It was a bit expensive. Expensive just meaning that it wasn't like $5, but it is like a real honest to goodness hand-pieced, hand-stitched quilt. You know how sometimes it's like a printed design? This is like straight up somebody made this, and it's beautifully done. There is like a bit of discoloration and stain type of things in it. I mean, obviously I'm gonna wash it, so likely some of it will come out, but I'm not totally sure if I want to make something out of this, like a jacket or something, or even like pants. That could be cool. Or I might just leave it as a quilt because I do really like it. I'll probably use it as a quilt for a while, and then if inspiration strikes, I will have it on hand. But I don't want to use this unless I'm super confident about the project because it is so beautiful and so well done. Second to last thing, I found this cute box. I thought it was a hat box at first, but it's like a little circular box with these like flower things on the top. I don't totally love that, but it's fine. But the tag on it said sewing box, and I was like, what's a sewing box? And then you open it up. Oh, yes. The store also sold fudge, so I got some fudge. It's like a place to put all your notions, and there's little pegs for thread, and I think this would work perfectly for me. I have a random assortment of different like baskets and things in the wardrobe of my studio where I just keep, you know, things like this, hodgepodge stuff, thread, buttons, whatever, elastic. So this is like perfect for me. And this color also very trendy. Like this butter yellow is very popular right now. So I think this was like $10. A great deal. The very last thing I got is this little 4-leaf clover shamrock thing. It's actually like metal, which it's not really my normal style. It's like a cute little shamrock, but both vintage stores I went to today had all these displays for St. Patrick's Day, which is tomorrow, which was very fun. And I'm glad they did because I snagged this. I can't remember if I mentioned at the beginning of this video, but the whole reason I'm on this trip is because it's my birthday tomorrow, which is St. Patrick's Day. And it's a fun holiday to have a birthday on because everybody does recognize it. They talk about it. It's mentioned. Stores decorate for it. But at the same time, why do we really care about St. Patrick's Day? Obviously, at its inception, there was a reason. Isn't it like St. Patrick chased the snakes from Ireland or something like that? Happy he did. Respect him. But at this point, I think most of us aren't celebrating for that reason. Anyway, so that will probably sit in my studio somewhere as well. That is my thrift haul. I have actually abandoned my hike today. I've been waiting all day for the storm to kind of clear up a little bit. It was supposed to settle down. Wind has died down. It's not as windy, but it is raining so freaking hard still. There's severe weather warnings. There's a flood warning nearby. On my drive from my Airbnb up to this hike, there were 3 separate accidents that I passed, and it's only like a 30-minute drive. 3 separate accidents. One of them was an SUV wrapped around a tree. It was really intense. So I just don't feel great about going out in the weather today. Honestly, it seems worse than yesterday, except for the wind. I'm brave when it comes to weather, but I'm not stupid. So I am like 10% bummed that I didn't get to do my last hike, especially since it's one of my favorite ones, but I'll just have to take you guys back there one day. I'm parked on the side of the road at a viewpoint over the coast. Gorgeous. There's nobody around because horrible weather. So I'm going to sit on the side of the road, crochet a little bit, listen to the end of my book. I'm almost done with it. I didn't even get to talking about it really, but I am listening to David Copperfield by Charles Dickens, which makes me sound very fancy. I'll have to maybe talk more at length in a different video about the different books I'm reading, but I have enjoyed it. It's a very long book and I'm almost done with it. So I'm going to finish listening to that. I'm going to crochet, and thank you guys for coming with me on my birthday trip. I seriously had the best time. I actually have a very big solo trip planned in a few weeks. I'm going to Maine, which is on the other side of the country. It's basically as far away from Oregon as you can get and still be in the US, or the continental US anyway. So I am so excited, definitely going to vlog that. But I just so enjoy going on trips by myself, bringing you guys with me. If I yap too much, sorry, but I'm probably going to keep talking. And thank you for those of you who are happy to be here. You are my people. I love you guys. Let me know where else we should travel.